Hey guys, this is Logan and Matt with Red Fox Sports Network.
So first up today, we're going to be taking a look at the baseball team who just swept Monmouth University in a 3-game series. And this puts them second in the MAC, which sets them up nicely for the upcoming MAC tournament. And first up, we're going to watch some highlights of that game, Marist versus Monmouth. And then we're going to have a quick interview with star player Dylan Hoy.
Here we're taking a look at potential MLB draft prospect Dylan Hoy. In this clip, he hits a nice ball down center field, allowing a runner to get to home and get the score. This is just one of his 32 RBIs on the season. And Hoy is currently batting at a .290 average, which is down from last season when he boasted a .410 batting average. However, he's still been a prolific hitter and crucial to this Marist team, despite the drop in his batting average. On this play, Hoy gets a solid contact with the ball, splitting the left and center outfielders for an easy single. Hoy is also pretty great while he's on base, with 35 runs and counting this season. And as we see in this clip, Hoy makes good contact with the ball, dipping it over the center outfielder, and quickly whips around first and gets the double. And Marist is currently looking to get to the number 1 seed in the MAC because they have games in hand on number 1 Fairfield. And another solid hit here from Hoy, and we get to see him with some energy once he gets on base, which will hopefully get him rolling into the MAC tournament.
Now let's take a look at Marist Baseball's star player, Dylan Hoy. He has a .290 batting average and has amassed 35 runs and 32 RBIs this season with a 94.1 fielding percentage. Now let's go hear a word from him.
So I'm here with Dylan Hoy, the new second baseman for Marist College Baseball. And so Dylan, coming into your junior season, you had lots of expectations on you due to your performance last year, but you've been living up to those expectations with a .290 batting average and 35 runs and 32 RBIs. Has this season been harder for you due to this pressure?
At the beginning of the season it was a little difficult because, all those expectations, like we said, kind of started to build up. But, now just realizing we're getting closer to conference play and getting closer to championships, I'm just, really focusing on my team and trying to play well for them, so.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then so you've helped your team get to a 7-game win streak currently. How important is gaining all this momentum going into the MAC championships?
It's huge. We couldn't ask for more. Going to that series against Monmouth was huge. Nobody really thought we were going to win. Maybe take a game or two, but to sweep them and been winning ever since is just unreal.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear. And then, if anything, what do you think your team must change about themselves in order to make a deep run into those playoffs?
I don't personally think we have to change anything. I think the biggest thing right now is keep playing our game, keep going about things the way we're going about them because, we're obviously getting wins, and it's not about being satisfied or anything like that, but it's just, about staying on that same track, not switching up, not trying to play to anybody's level but ours. So, we stay about that, and we're going to be pretty good this year.
And so going off that, Fairfield is currently ranked number 1, but you guys do still have some games in hand. So is there any specific team within the MAC that you guys are most fearful of playing, or do you think you guys can handle anyone?
I personally think we can handle anyone. There's definitely no fear about it, but there are a couple teams that may give us, a little bump in the road, like Fairfield, Monmouth, Canisius. They're always good programs, but, like I said before, we play our game, and we have a really good shot at winning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with your play this season, your draft stock has been going up. Do you think you're going to be able to continue that going into next year even?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to keep playing my game, keep focusing on, playing to win and everything like that. But, as long as I stay true to myself, keep playing my own game and not focus on outside stuff, I think, it's going to be a really good shot, and I think I got a good shot at it this year.
Yeah, well, good luck in the MAC championships, and good luck for your future draft stock.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's been great.
It's Marist versus Canisius. Let's get into it. Canisius was missing their number 1 scorer, freshman Colin Kelly, due to unspecified reasons, and they could have really used him in this game because Marist goalie Anthony Napolitano was blocking every shot that was thrown at him. He had an amazing saving game. He had about 8 saves by the end of the first half. He did wonderful in this game. Then we had players such as James Leones, number 34, and Jason Intermessoli, number 3, making beautiful goals for Marist, keeping them up. But little did they know that Canisius was going to come right back in the last 80 seconds of the second quarter and give them 3 back-to-back goals. It was keeping Marist on their toes, and Canisius thought they were back in this. But little did they know Mr. Kellen Polera was going to come back and have 3 goals, a hat trick. It's his 6th hat trick game of the entire season. He is the number 2 scorer for Marist, and this ended up giving Marist their win of 13-7. It was a great game for the Red Foxes.
The men's lacrosse team seems like they had a great season, but they ended up falling short in the semifinals of the MAC play-in tournament.
Now let's move on to the men's track team. We'll be looking at Glenn Osborne, who owns a school record in the 60-meter dash, the 100-meter dash, and the 200-meter dash, both indoors and outdoors.
And now we're going to talk about Glenmore Osborne. He's a sophomore on the men's track and field team at Marist, and he's a sprinter, and he is by far one of the best athletes you are going to see at Marist. He has several indoor and outdoor championships for Marist, and he has also broken several of Marist school records. Just this past weekend, we saw him compete at the MAC tournament where he brought home gold for the 100-meter and 200-meter event.
I'm here with Glenn Osborne, Marist track and field sprinter. Glenn, what made you join track in 2019?
So obviously I was recruited at Marist for football. So the first thing that made me get interested in track is since I was in high school, senior year, my first year, and I did well, I made it to states, and I was like maybe it could potentially be an opportunity in college. But really, I was talking to some of the people on the team, and they were like, email Coach Pete. And I was like, okay. I emailed them my times, and then before you knew it, I was on the team.
So your first race at the collegiate level, the BU Valentine Invitational, you ran the 60 and you won your first race. How did it feel to win your first race at the collegiate level?
So that was my first race in about 3.5 to 4 years since high school. Well, no, 2 years. So in my mind, I'm like, I wasn't thinking to really win anything or to do that well because I was still so new to the sport. So it just really felt amazing. I was surprised.
So going into Max that season, there were talks of you being able to win the 60-meter dash. Did you feel any pressure to win that season?
Probably the biggest pressure I ever felt in my life because I was just trying to have a good year just to start, and then hearing that I could potentially win the whole thing, it just had my mind in the whole whirlwind, and I just was focused on just trying to place in the Max and not win it.
That season, you went down to IC4As and you were third. That was the first time you did not win that season. How hungry were you to come back next year and win that race?
I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I pretty much ever lost in a short distance race, and it just is like, it was a very humbling experience, and I knew that, you can't win every single race, and there are those days that people are gonna beat you, but it just motivated me to work harder and come back for next year. And I told Coach Chuck, I was like, I'm not losing any more races after today.
So this indoors, you came back, you break your own school record and run 6.69. Talk about what it feels like to come back from such tough emotions and to continue to dominate on the track.
Well, definitely coming back, I didn't expect to do that well in the 60. I knew that I was in the 6.7 barrier, and to finally break that felt amazing. And I felt like it was a statement that I needed to make coming back from a long time without running.
So you were hurt for Max this year, so you weren't able to defend your 60-meter dash title. How did you continue to stay motivated through a tough injury because you really wanted to defend that title?
Well, the choice not to run Max is actually very difficult for me. I actually made a decision the same day. I was working trying to make it to Max, because I had a quad injury, and those injuries are really hard to overcome. It could take months, and it was a last second decision because I was like, if I can't walk full speed and can't run full speed, it's very difficult because I really wanted to help the team and I really wanted to run, and I couldn't do it.
So you come back, IC4As, after being hurt at Max. You win the race that you didn't win back in 2019. How does it feel to come back and win that day?
It felt amazing because once you get into IC4As, you have people outside of the MAC, and there was a guy from Duquesne, really big school. He's running against top schools like Penn State and Ohio State and all these schools at different meets. So I'm thinking this is a perfect opportunity for me to showcase my skills against bigger schools, and I just feel like I did my job.
Finally, you race outdoor track at Max. You break the 100, 200 school records. You just rebroke the 4x1 record today. You won Mets. You competed at the final in the Penn Relays. MAC Outdoor Performer of the Meet. Talk about how your confidence is feeling, for what's coming forward.
This is something that I've been working towards my entire life. I didn't really know that would be directed towards track, because I've been training really hard for football my entire life. So just to get all of this success coming in a sport that wasn't my primary sport in high school, it just changed my whole perception of what my actual primary sport is and what I want to do in the future with it.
All right. Thank you, gang. Glenn, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Marist boasted an exceptional spring season for sports, with Glenn Osborne winning 2 individual races in the MAC championships.
And the lacrosse team making it to the semifinals, while the baseball team is entering the MAC championship with some great momentum. And that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in.